Why do you want to make a film where no one wins a war?
What's your favorite Indian film as a cinematographer, not a director?
I'm a big fan of Satyajit Ray.
What has been your favorite day on set? Like, ये तो मैं कभी नहीं भूलूंगा.
And also the interesting thing about the cinematography is that everything starts from darkness. Most of the people's work is influenced by social media, other works. So they are not saying anything new. They're only imitating something.
Your most trusted lens on set?
It depends on different films actually. Different films, I tend to use different series lenses.
Okay. And your favorite song that you ever shot?
I still think because of so many reasons, I think Chaya Chaya remains my... I went to go to Bradford and so many people want to just take a picture with me because I shot the song. I don't even know who they are, whether they're from Pakistan or India or whatever.
Welcome to The Art and the Artist, where we pull back the curtain, spill the secrets, and dive into the minds behind the magic. Here, the artists and technicians don't just talk about what they made, but reveal how they lived it. It's not just the project, it's the chaos, the stories, the sparks, up close and personal. And today, I can't even believe I'm going to introduce this person, so I am going to read it out. He's the first Asian to win the prestigious Pierre Angénieux Award in 2024 at Cannes. He's an iconic cinematographer, director, and producer who has redefined visual storytelling across Indian and global cinema. A graduate of FTII, he is a founding member of Indian Society of Cinematographers and the first from Asia Pacific to join the American Society of Cinematographers. The most awarded director of photography in India, he has won over 12 national awards and numerous international honors. His directorial works like The Terrorist and Ashoka have earned worldwide acclaim, while his cinematography in Roja, Dil Se and Iruvar set new benchmarks. Welcome, Mr. Santosh Sivan, sir.
Thank you so much.
So, I just want to begin from asking, you have shot in different terrains, extreme climates. So please tell us, you've also shot in waters. So how many times have you been completely drenched or bruised or frozen while taking that perfect shot?
I think quite a bit actually. I've been going through that my whole life actually. Because every time you go to a new terrain, you are faced with very different... You actually get into the hostilities of nature.
Yeah.
Whether you're shooting a film like Roja in the snow, or recently I was shooting Habba in the snow -14, or Ravan in the monsoons and heavy rain, because you won't believe I've actually been shooting on top of a hill during Ravan. Me and Aishwarya and Maniratnam, all of us was there, and we got caught inside a rain cloud.
Oh, wow.
It's all dark and the lights have gone and it's all totally dark. So we actually saw the rain cloud coming in, enveloping us fully. It's an amazing feel actually. You get goosebumps when you think about it actually. So I think I've always been, even when there were floods in Kerala, I used to shoot there. So I think you've seen a very hostile side of nature.
You say like you're a big travel connoisseur, you love going to different places and that's the best learning in life.
Yeah.
So have you gone to a place and then decided, okay, this is where I should be, keeping a shot or a schedule?
Lots of places, because see, after I finished my film institute, I actually was offered my first film was Raak with Amir and all that, directed by Aditya Bhattacharya. So after that I got a lot of Hindi films, but all my wanting to be a cinematographer was to capture the different moods of water, rains, villages in Kerala. So I went back. I didn't stay back here. So only after Roja, then I came back to do some Hindi films. So you want to capture something that you actually first experienced. So you want to go back to your native land.
Okay. Any specific one shot that you were like, oh my God, I can't believe I got this. Like, you were just so stuck, extreme. And then you were like, okay, finally I got this. Like, do you want to mention just one
actually,
shot
there
like
was
that?
one particular shot. And I made Ashoka. I wanted SRK to be going through the war field. and he sees all these dead bodies. And I wanted to shoot it at a time when the sun is setting and the moon is rising, same time. Because when their hands are opened, he sees the hands are open of all the dead bodies that as if they never got, they all came to get something, but finally their hands are open, and I wanted that moment. So I planned it actually, but finally I think we got the whole shot.
Since you yourself segued into Ashoka, I have meaning to talk to you like about it. The first thing first, I was 7 when I watched Ashoka. And even at that age, it just registered, okay, this is something like really cool that I've watched. And I was in 6th and I was learning about Mauryan Empire. I actually remembered Ashoka and Shah Rukh Khan, as the King Ashoka. So I just want to ask you, what was your approach before starting a film like that? He is a big emperor of our history.
And it's not like that, because most of my films that I've made are because of some personal experience.
Okay.
I don't have anything personal. So when I was studying in Loyola School, the history class was just after lunch break.
Okay.
So there was this teacher, George, his name is. He was like a failed, wanting to be theatre actor. So he would come and explain Ashoka history. But he was very frustrated because after he came for lunch, all the students would have finished playing their games and were tired and were sleepy and all that. So whenever he came to give this class, he used to see all of them tired and sleepy. So he would say, I am now at the scene of Kolinga War and all these are like dead bodies lying like that. He used to make fun of us. Yeah.
So that is your core memory?
No.
Okay.
He used to make fun of us.
Okay.
So he got very upset and then he asked us, why are you all sleeping? Are you not interested in this great king? So we said, no, we are not interested in this great king. Why? He asked. So he said, because he stopped fighting.
Yeah.
He embraced Buddhism, and what is a fight if someone has to win? No. If you see some war, someone has to win. So he stopped fighting. Then he said, he was very upset. He went and sat down. Then he said, how many of you throw stones at dogs? So a lot of us put our hands up. Then he said, one day, when you stop throwing stones at dogs, you will realize why Ashoka did that. Remember that, he said. So I think somewhere along the line, it stayed with me, this story. And also when I was going to make the film, Ashoka, I had these questions from people who were producing it. Why do you want to make a film where no one wins a war? Because if I see a war film of Germany and English people, we want the English people to win. Someone has to be winning,
Yeah.
You can't make a film where no one is winning, it's a draw, or no outcome. So a lot of people want me not to get into it because it's not a very commercial thing to approach something like that. But I thought that the story was really interesting.
It's so beautiful.
Make it, and then I actually wanted to also take a person, Ashoka's character, and split him into someone who is very romantic when there's a monsoon and misty, and finally you take this guy just because people change like seasons, like seasons you also keep changing.
Yeah.
And finally his end is dust and sunshine and war and things like that. So all that, very interestingly, the Kodak people got a whiff of that. So they actually, the Kodak people presented it like that in their, they're very excited that you actually made a character like seasons changing. But I had done the same thing with in Terrorist, where a person's mind is changing, like how the water, sometimes like a waterfall, sometimes it's like how water changes shape. So I think because of your cinematography and you're attached to nature a bit, you tend to see everything in connection, that connection.
Okay, so this is how you picked Ashoka. So what, like shooting the Kolinga War would have been a war in itself. So do you want to talk about that a little as well?
No, it was difficult because see, when you shoot with big stars and all that time, Kareena was not available when we were shooting the war.
Okay.
So I had to shoot most of it in Film City. a little bit. So with all these things happen,
Yeah. I
So
feel
you
it should
can't,
be
you can't
re-released.
actually. You have to adjust and of course try to work it
Yeah.
out. That's all.
Any chances that it could be re-released? Because I saw it on TV, so I wish
I
I
don't know.
could.
It's all SRKs. So
Yeah.
actually, he is so passionate about films that he has all the films. In fact, when the Ariflex people wanted to showcase Chaya Chaya song, I had to
Yeah.
get the film from him actually. So the song,
Okay.
it is in the, they put it in the 100 years of some big
Okay.
function. They had the film.
Okay, so what are your first thoughts when you hear a narration, and what is your process before, like, starting out a new project?
First, I would like to know whether I really think I have something to contribute to the whole thing, whether it's directing or shooting, whether it excites me. Secondly, it also depends on who's making the film. If it's a friend of mine who needs my help, then I'll be very glad to offer. Then script has become secondary actually.
Yeah.
Or if it is a very trusted person who I've worked with before and I know his way of working, then it becomes easier. So, but initially, before I started, when I started initially, I used to do mostly for only new people, first
Okay.
time directors. Because I realized that when you work with first time directors, you take on their energy and their fresh inputs than get into a formula kind of a thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, Chaya Chaya is such a global phenomena. But when you first heard that you have to shoot on a train, what was your reaction, and what went through your mind, and the initial preparation for it?
See, a lot of things actually grow into these things. So first of all, we actually, Mani wanted to try out something in Irivar
Okay.
because, so we had in one line Mohanlal standing up atop a train in singing,
Okay.
but we had a lot of difficulty doing it. So that time, the idea was maybe we should have a whole song like that. Then, believe me, it is a lot of pressure actually because first we find out why we want to do it. Why do you want to do this? How and when is different. Okay. Why is it important to the film? Whatever. So, to be very frank with you, me and Maniratnam might have traveled on a train almost everywhere in India to find out the right
Okay.
travel.
Track. Yeah.
Then only you understand, and we have a lot of discussions, of course.
Even
Why-
Farah Khan in an interview, she said every day, like at 6, 7 p.m., he's like, go, go, go. Like,
No, that is, of course, while we have decided.
Yeah.
But before deciding what kind of locations, we have gone through Pathankot, Himalayas, this is all we have seen.
okay.
Me and Mani have seen it while going for other shoots and all that. Then we realized that this has to be a nostalgic thing.
okay.
So it is important to recreate the nostalgia of a first train journey as a child. That means the most interesting thing that I would think of a first train journey is that you go through a tunnel. So you need tunnel. So that is how we finally decided to shoot it in Ooty. Yeah. So we
It
had that
does.
tunnel. And when
Everyone,
we
yeah.
decided to shoot the whole thing, we realized that we can't have so much equipment. Like today, it is very easy to do all that. In fact, I just had one light,
Okay.
which I used in the tunnel. That's all. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
used only simple thing. And the whole song is Chaya Chaya, Shadow and all that. So we took the risk, and I think it was very adventurous, the whole thing actually. And also, daytime we would shoot the train like that. Evening we would shoot the scene in the same station because those days trains were expensive to shoot.
Yeah.
So was the station.
Is there a song that, apart from Chaya Chaya, that you loved shooting and you had like a fun time, and you just want to mention it?
Yeah, lots of songs. I actually particularly liked shooting Meenakshi songs with Tabu.
Okay.
Then so many songs. Yeah, Irivar is.
Even Chilgamma.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun
In
song.
fact, I'm working with Remo now. He is doing choreography for this film I'm doing on Shivaraji Maharaj, which is directed by Ritesh.
Okay.
So he's, so we were talking about that also. So we're shooting a song.
And Satrangiri, I will not
Yeah.
mention that, the 7 stages of love.
Yeah, yes.
Beautiful.
I think most of the songs in Dil Se are very interesting.
Yeah.
Even Dil Se is very interesting.
What's your favorite Indian film as a cinematographer, not a director or producer, not your international projects, but your Indian film?
See, I'm a big fan of Satyajit films.
Okay.
I think those had a timeless quality to it. The kind of, in fact, as a tribute to those films is how I shot Idur.
Yeah.
It's a film that is a tribute to Subrata Mitra, who shot for Satyajit Ray films. I think I learned a lot of subtle lighting and all that from.
So if we are talking about lighting, I want to ask you, your films like Talapati and Uruvi have scenes shot during golden hour. When you have such few minutes of magic light during the sunset, what are the challenges over here like that you have to manage?
I learned very early on that most of the beautiful things in nature are very fleeting. Whether it's a magic hour or if it's a streak of sunlight after a shower, they're all very fleeting. So those are the best times to capture beauty, I feel. So I think, so you prepare for it. So I like magic skies, and where it's also a fleeting, a transition time, which I think is very interesting. So we have to take those challenges, and if you're ready for the challenges, then you get what you.
What has been your favorite day on set? Like, ये तो मैं कभी नहीं भूलूंगा.
Actually, I try to think every day like that, I get up in the morning and hope, I've got up so early in the morning, I hope some fantastic stuff comes. In fact, recently I was shooting in Satara early morning, and I was thinking, there was one shot which we wanted to do of Ritesh going up on a horse, which is rearing up, and we have not been able to get it. And so we went there to shoot early morning, and we had got an unbelievable shot where everyone, when they see it on screen, they'll think it is VFX, but it's not. It is real shot.
Okay.
The way the horse stood up, almost like a straight line, and he is behind. Amazing shot, actually.
Oh, nice.
So sometimes like that kind of magic happens, I'm telling you 100%, everyone will say, oh, this must be VFX, because it's not possible to do it like that a second time.
Yeah, and what are your opinions on like this AI and so much of?
I think, see, everything that has happened is happening for it to progress. So
Yeah.
in the initially, people might actually use it and overuse it and make a mess of it. Like when the zoom was invented, everyone would zoom in and out every time.
Yeah.
Now they don't use like that, So I think in the first there might be some over excessive use of it, but after that we understand, we control it. But everything that is happening might be for the betterment of the shoots, because it might help actually. But I think your sensibilities and talent all the same. It's all the same.
Okay.
See, and I think we have to see, when I finished my Film Institute course and I came out to work in the industry, I was told that you have to assist someone if you want to get to know people and get good work.
Yeah.
Now you have come from FTI, you have studied 3 years, you know photography, I learned color processing and all that. So again, after all that, to assist someone, I thought it was a joke, it's like, because you already think you're some genius or something. So you didn't want to assist someone. So I told them that I am not interested in assisting. So then there's no work. Then someone offered me, because I was interested in travel, and I used to do all these small films for the Christian missionaries and to Vivekananda Kendra. Vivekananda Kendra, people asked me, would you like to go and teach children photography? Because that time I actually knew how to make prints.
Okay.
Even now color processing and all that. So I could teach. So I said, okay. Then they said, you have to teach tribal children. I said, fine. Where? They said, Arunachal Pradesh. So I thought Arunachal Pradesh must be next to Andhra Pradesh or something. Then I find myself all the way near China border, near Tawang, like all those places. And then I landed up at the school It was a big shock for me because I am a backwater boy from Kerala, and here so cold.
Yeah, the
You just won't know what. And then there are these Idumishmi tribes going around with all kinds of different clothing and all that. And then they think you're stupid because you don't speak their language.
Yeah.
And you arrive at a school.
Yeah.
It's only 2-acre school, fully fenced because a lot of wild animals and tigers and all that are there. And inside the school, they had the statue of Gandhi. And all those students had sword and all with them. You know, and they're from different tribes. Very hostile kind of people. And Gandhi is standing there. They made Gandhi. Unlike Gandhi you've ever seen in a statue. Here he was like them, little short, tough, shoulder muscles, calf muscles, big. And the stick was raised.
Whoa.
So I asked him, what do you mean? Gandhi was a very non-violent guy. Why is like this? They said, no, sir, you don't know. He chased British people out.
Oh, wow.
So very
The
simple.
picture of
So
Gandhi.
for them, everything has to have that bend
Visual,
of violence. And even though Vivekananda Kendra, people are running the school, these people eat non-veg and all this. So one day the dog died. Then they want to take it for bury because they bury it.
Yeah.
So I went with them. So they went deep into the forest, very deep. Then they found a very tall tree and started digging under the tree to put this animal down. And it's getting darker. They finished 4 feet, still they're digging. They dug 8 feet. Then I said, why, how long are you going to go on doing this digging? For 8 feet, yeah? Then they said, no, we want to see the main root. Then only the dog will become the flower and tree. So they have to see the tree, the roots. Then they buried it. Then later on, the elders told that everything with mystery has to have a balance of light and darkness. When you see the tree, you have to know that the tree has grown up, but the roots have grown down. So if both are not there, there's no mystery. So if you want to see anything with life and mystery, you have to have a blend of light and darkness, which is what I have used in my films. The way I work is basically putting this as an inspiration. I don't look at reference and all that. I just think, does this have a balance of light and darkness? Like that.
Yeah.
Then later on, after that, when we are going back, these children surrounded me, pulled out their sword and whispered amongst each other. So I asked, what's happening? Why we stopped? The forest has gone silent. Then he says, and it's getting dark. And real forest and the hills, when you say sun has gone down, it's like switching a light off. Ping, it goes dark. So I asked, so it's scary actually. So they said, sir, 2 tiger prints, sir. So I couldn't make anything. And it's tall grass, so you can't see what is there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a tiger sitting there and saying, South Indian dinner coming up. I'm thinking that time. Huh? So I asked him, what will you see if you see a tiger? I should do something. No?
Yeah.
They said, we will run very fast and climb a tall tree very fast. No, I said, see, you as kids have learned all this climbing trees, running and all that. I have no idea. I have not learned all this. What will I do? Then he looked very confidently at me and says, no problem, sir. You see a tiger, you learn everything very fast. So nothing to worry about, which is very relevant to your work also, because you might not have approached anything. I was shooting a film called Bride and Prejudice, English film, where they had this at night one shot from the sea, it comes in, the whole beach is there. Some 7 kilometers of beach, and there's a rave party going on. How will you light up? So, but like you say, you think the tiger is behind you, you light up. So every time you have a problem, you just trust yourself and something will happen.
So
I always feel
related to this, I wanted to ask, when you do a prep, right? Like, okay, this schedule, this director, you've had this discussion with the actors, the whole team. And when suddenly, like, this happens, directors are, moody, temperamental. So they just come and they're like, okay, no, today I want to shoot this in a different way. But this is not how you've planned. So how do you go about...
No, actually, I like when people are organic.
Okay. Okay.
See, I'm actually supposed to shoot a film just after this called Daniel, it's a historical, biblical. I already shot 4-5 days for that. It's a Canadian production. Now, for me, everything there is very unconventional.
Yeah.
From having breakfast. I sit down to have breakfast. Daniel, my director, sits opposite me and says, Santosh, we will discuss during breakfast. I said, fine. So he sits there. I order a masala dosa. He orders a masala dosa. Then he sits opposite me, takes out the masala fully, throws it out, takes a banana and puts it in between the masala and the dosa, then puts honey in it, then makes it a roll and has it. And I am having masala
A
dosa.
crepe, basically.
So I said, I can't discuss this with you. So you have to adapt yourself to, when people are organic and they want to do something different, we have to see what is the outcome of it and how we can exploit it to the fullest. So if you keep an open mind and not be rigid about planning and all that, then your creative instincts will take over.
True. So you're ready for anything then on the set.
I'm very happy.
Bring it on.
I'm very happy if things are not going
As exactly how it's going. Okay. Lovely.
because never it happens
Okay.
unless it's a set or something.
So there are these questions that I told you. We have a Cinebuff group where a couple of people have asked. These are fan questions, basically. You mentioned that you are a person of light and dark both. So that also in your Anupama Chopra interview, you mentioned that an artist has to have their own style even without trying. Like even if they're not trying to copy themselves, but they still have a bit of themselves.
Yeah, because if you actually like something or the way something should be done, and you think this is a way. Like for example, when I see a Rembrandt painting, I wanted to see like a Rembrandt painting. I don't want a painting which doesn't look like a Rembrandt painting. Or a Caravaggio for that matter.
Yeah.
So there is a signature to it. Even a Satyajit film has a signature to it. That you have to see it. It might vary from films, but there is a signature that happens. And also the interesting thing about the cinematography is that everything starts from darkness.
Yeah.
So you can start from darkness, everything.
So, that was his question. Across your work, both as a cinematographer and director, there's this quiet intensity and seriousness. What draws you into that kind of energy?
I think most of the time you have observed things. I made four children's films. So I like looking at everything.
Han is, I really like one. Yeah, like
then I've done Halo I've done. Then Malli, Tamil films. Because I do different languages. I don't think you might have seen most of my work actually, because I do Malayalam, Tamil and so I like more than the languages, I like the fact that it's a visual language I'm dealing with. So I go with that feel actually.
Another fan question that we have is, please talk about your film Terrorist and all the international acclaims that you've gotten for it.
Yeah. The Terrorist was a film which I actually wanted to do because I hated the fact, that those days everyone used to say third world country, even technically,
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make a film where if we can see a Japanese film in Chennai, why can't they see a Tamil film in America?
Yeah.
So that was my intention. So, of course, I did away with songs and all that. And the story is something I wrote quite some time back, which I thought was very interesting. I didn't have a script or anything like that. I just had a basic one line, and I have a bunch of students with me who actually helped me make it. And then I got hold of Aisha Darkar to play the main role. Then I made the film. And I made it like a painting because I was also teaching the students. So made it like a painting means I started to shoot it in order. So most of it was done in one place. So after I finished the film, I was very fortunate because the film was in Toronto and it was suddenly, I remember Abir Khan was there with water, I think. He asked me, what are you doing here, Santosh? So I said, I have a film. And then this film was a lot of people got very curious about the film. Then I got a direct offer for it for Sundance, which was the first Sundance film. And when I went to Sundance, things changed totally because the American Society of Cinematographers picked it as one of the most visually interesting films. And then they told me that the Duard people, the lab people said, we will give you all lab facilities for next year. And they asked me which lab. So I said, this is from Chennai lab, the new lab actually. But I had learned processing, so I had good control over all that. And then in Cairo, it got so many awards actually. And when I went with Terrorist, it also was the first film to get an Independent Spirits Award nomination. So when I went there, the director of Dancer in the Dark was very fascinated because they had actually got inspired by Dilse's song, that Chaya Chaya, and used it in that film.
Okay.
So he wanted to meet me and talk to me, so I talked to him. So then it got lots of awards in Cairo where John Malkovich was the jury chairman there.
Okay.
So he picked up the film and released it all over in US and UK.
Okay.
So finally my dream of releasing a Tamil film in there happened. So that way I'm very happy actually. And it was a very low budget film.
Yeah.
But it was also shot on film, so very little footage because there's no money to make or do all that. So very little footage was, but we made sure that everything was done correctly. So but it was interesting actually, yeah. So it got a lot of awards actually, 14, 15 awards. Then after that, everyone wants you to make that kind of films, which is when I decided no, and I made. Before I used to make children's film, that's when they said, why don't you make something serious? So I made this. And after I made this, they said, oh, so I made Ashoka after that. Then I made 2-3 period films. So they said, oh, you only make period films and terrorist films and all that. But the fact is, I think the genre is not important if you do what you feel.
Yeah. So you have done different genres, documentaries, films. Would you...
Not action. I'll do some action film now.
Yeah, action film. Would you be interested in web format?
If the right thing comes through, it is a very interesting format because I've been was very a big fan of Game of Thrones. So I think if it is something very dramatic and interesting, it will be very interesting.
Yeah, I would love to see
But the fact
you doing
is that the problem is that
long format.
Big web series, the director doesn't seem to be very important. Game of Thrones, if I ask you who directed it, you won't know because there's so many people who have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, every 2-3 episodes was done by different people. So, but I would want you to do like a spin-off of Ashoka as a web series. It is my favorite story.
I'm not too sure. Because Hindi films are difficult for me in a way because of the language. It's like difficult you have to rely on so many people for language, especially if it's period and all that. It's not easy.
Being the master of light in cinematography, how do you feel when a lot of indie makers make excuse of budgets in oddly lit scenes?
See, the idea of cinematography basically, like I said, is a blend of light and darkness. So most of the time, as you start to understand it more and more, you feel that you have to simplify your lighting. That is, ask yourself whether you need to minus light or plus light.
Okay.
Where or do you don't want light. Start thinking like that. Do the reverse thinking. So I think independent cinema gives you the best opportunity to showcase your actual style and work. Otherwise, you are recreating rain. Whereas in an independent film, you can actually shoot in rain.
Yeah.
There are so many plus points in an independent film. You should take it with the right approach.
So with so many newcomers and everything, do you consume social media? Like, do you watch what new people do with different lightings and, less budget and just their phone cameras?
I've seen a bit, but I feel that, it's very easy to distinguish true artists. Because you find that most of the people's work is influenced by social media, other works. So they are not saying anything new. So they're only imitating something. So I think it's very easy to see when someone is actually trying to create something. So you like to see people create, not imitate. So if you're going to follow all this, then you're purely imitating something. You can imitate to learn something.
Yeah.
But then after that, you have to take your next step.
Then where is your voice?
Where
Yeah.
you create. Because I think cinematography is like Vedas. You suddenly have to learn everything, and then you have to, then only you slowly understand why, how. It takes time for you to actually find more reason. Because when I say it's like Vedas, it is like if you know some mantras,
Yeah.
you can have a good, comfortable living. If you know how to light a beautiful romantic shot, you know how to do a death someone funeral, you know how to do an interview. So these are the mantras. So if you know about 4-5 like this, then you can make a living, but you don't go beyond that. So if you have to go beyond that, then you have to forgo all this and try to understand how we can create ambience more interestingly. Because when you say, oh, this is a sad scene, it's a death scene, or a funeral kind of scene. Okay, off that light, make it dark. It's very simple. A romantic, okay, do a backlit and all that stuff. Okay. So these are things that you can do, and people will appreciate it, and you will get paid also. But then if you have to go more into it, the subtleties of it, to make it more timeless and reach out to it to do a more aesthetic thing. A simple example would be when I did Iruvar, I got a national for it, but everyone found it very aesthetically very correct and beautiful, creative, but it was not very commercial. It was not very mass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Mani told me, Santosh, we are doing another film. We have to make it very little more massy. So the next film I shot is Dil Se, which is very massy. And I got a national for that also. The fact is that there are two different kind of films with two different approaches. So it's up to you how you choose one, how to approach each film.
So I want to ask, as a film student, FTIS student, did it help you to kickstart your journey as a cinematographer? Would you suggest young cinematographers to do the same, like actually go to the school instead of assisting first?
Actually, it depends on which school.
Okay.
The FTI Pune and SRKs are all very good because they have students from all over the country. Whereas those in the those places where it's only regional, then they only discuss regional cinema, which is not good.
Okay.
The idea is that you have, like when I was studying in the institute, I had Vietnamese students. They were in the war, so we had a lot of experience.
Okay.
I had people from all the states, including Assam and all that. So they used to discuss their culture, this thing. So it is a melting pot of different cultures. And most importantly, the students are all very like-minded. They all come for the same thing. So after seeing a film, you have a class and then you sit and discuss and about the films, and different people might have had different experiences. So you get to learn a lot like that. Even now, recently I did a workshop in FTI. It's very good because the students are full of eager and they're exposed to so much of cinema the right way. Now, but today I also feel that a lot of independent people, without any of this schooling, have the same knowledge through the social media, and they are also able to see all the same kind of films. So, and they are also making short films. And so I think finally it is your passion. Yeah. I think you don't need to necessarily go to a film school. It helps, but
Okay.
supposing you want to work and you see you from FTI or someplace, then they trust you more.
So do you think because world in general is so connected right now, everybody is kind of making the same kind of art and it's not different, like you can't differentiate from which country, what. Before it used to have an individuality or even the states. So now because everybody's so connected, social media, this and that, YouTube, so everybody can see what everyone is making and, copy, imitate.
It's like I said before,
Yeah.
so when you create, you can see the difference.
Okay.
See, India has our art forms and cultural, this thing all have been very different from the Western, because of which our art form, our cultural inputs, our visual inputs are like our music. It's ornamental. So we are able to do songs well, which is why our Indian cinema is safe actually, because the foreigners can't come and do songs, and they don't have that thing of beautifying things and
Yeah.
things like that. They are like very correct from A to B, like that kind of thing. I've worked so much abroad also, so you understand their way of working. So it's a very different sensibility we have. So I think that anyone who wants to really be someone important in visual arts should go to their roots and learn about their culture and try to see, because see, I have learned so much from Kathakali and all these things.
Yeah.
Today I was, just before this, I got a call to, because one of my directors, Shaji Karan, who I shot Vanaprastham for, which was the Khans on Kathakali. He is no more. He just passed away.
Oh.
So I think, we have learned so much from working with these people and understanding the art form of Kathakali or puppet show or whatever visual arts is there. So that input is very important for us to come out something original. In fact, when I was invited to be a member of the American Society of Cinematographers and being the first, they were very eager to know what is my influences. And they were shocked at my influences, because everyone is talking about cameras and those things, and we are talking about all kinds of very strange stuff.
Yeah.
And for them, that is something very interesting, because they said that finally, because of which is why we have invited you. We will not have invited you if you had imitated us.
Yeah.
So if you imitate them, you're not going to go anywhere. Because they are also clever people. They want to know what is it that you're doing different.
It's not, I'm not saying it's imitated. I'm saying inspired. Like everything is so modern, everything is so Western. The rom-coms are almost the similar that way. Like, what do you think about these?
Subject-wise and all that.
Yeah.
I think everyone to themselves, whatever makes them happy. I think, I am no one to judge. See, nowadays, no one is interested in anything actually. They're only interested in how much money did it make.
Yeah.
Which is the main thing. It doesn't matter whether the film is good, bad,
The 100 crore clubs.
whatever it is. It's about that. So what do you need most important for that? Not a story. You need a big star. Okay.
So another question that we have from a fan is, as a child, when you first saw the dream of becoming a cinematographer, and now that you've achieved almost everything, what changed? And is there anything remaining that you're aiming for?
I don't know what. See, the first time I actually experienced light was scary. I was very young actually, about 8 years old or 7 years. So in my ancestral home, you have this courtyard where the sun comes and goes and all that stuff. There was a picture of one of my great uncles, faded black and white photograph. But he was looking at me. So if you go that side, he's looking at you. And it was distorted because it's peeling off. So it looked like a ghost. Every time the courtyard sunlight came, it looked more alive. When it went down, it looked, only the eyes would see. Scary.
Yeah.
So it was almost like it's alive. And then when it started raining and thunder and lightning, it fully got into a form of a scary situation. And then my father told me that is only the light behaving like that.
Okay.
From then I've been very much big. My father was a very big photographer. Then I used to, and my grandmother used to teach painting. She used to teach painting in the palace. So I used to paint also, the sketch. So from then on, I've been very much interested in light.
Okay.
Very young.
Is there anything that you still want to achieve? Is there anything that, is left?
I think,
in all of your
awards and all
experiences till
gives
now?
you some kind of power.
Yeah.
But then you also have to be very lucky to, to be in the right place at the right time.
At the right time.
I don't think there's anything like that. I also want to do quite a few. I feel that I might have done about 50% of what I wanted to do. So there's another 50 remaining. So let me see
wow.
how we'll do, what we'll do.
We have to see what unfolds now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start the quick fire.
Okay.
Who would that one director be who makes work fun and challenging?
Manil,
One film where you still think that I could have done something better.
lots of films.
Name a few or just one.
Lot of films, I feel.
Okay. One Indian frame by another cinematographer that you wish you had shot.
Some of Ray's films.
Easiest actor or the most inclusive actor to shoot with?
SRK.
Yeah. Most unpredictable location that you've ever shot in?
Unpredictable. Kashmir.
Your most trusted lens on set?
It depends on different films, actually. Different films, I tend to use different series lenses.
Okay. And your favorite song that you ever shot?
So many songs, yeah. I think, I still think because of so many reasons, I think Chaya Jaya remains my, because it is something that I went to go to Bradford and so many people want to just take a picture with me because I shot the song. I don't even know who they are, whether they're from Pakistan or India, whatever, I don't know. But they all want to come and when I went to Calcutta, same thing. So it's a very strange kind of a song because it actually became very iconic.
It did.
Even in Germany, you won't believe it. When I went to Japan, the Japanese Society of Cinematographers took me there for 15 days and made me travel everywhere where Kurosawa shot and all that. And when I came off from there, they all stood at the airport and sang Chaya Jaya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Japanese people singing Jaya Jaya, my God.
I wish it was documented. It must be there somewhere.
No. It's all long, 10 years back.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just before leaving, I wanted to ask if you have one message to young cinematographers that are, going to embark on their journey.
Yeah.
What would you suggest? What would you?
I would say that doesn't matter. Don't get too much into cameras and technique. If you point your finger at the moon, look at the moon. Don't look at the finger. Finger is the equipment. So your iPhone is enough. But do something extraordinary and shoot every day and create something. It doesn't matter if everyone is saying no, not good or saying. Don't go with that. You keep trying. And then I'm sure somewhere you will catch it right from your own mistakes even. Yeah. I just bought my son a camera, underwater camera.
Oh, wow.
Because he has gone scuba diving. He's only 18. He wants to be a marine biologist. So I said, okay. So he's gone to Andaman to do scuba diving.
Oh, wow.
So today he sent me pictures with this camera. He has shot a lot of jellyfish. It will be exciting. He doesn't want to shoot and all, but he is doing very good actually.
Nice.
Somewhere interesting, yeah.
Of course. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
So much.
Nice. Yeah, I think you do very well anyway. Okay.